Hey dummies, how's it going? Welcome, Young and Dumb 20. This is the longest I've done a commitment like this. Something creative, something that I'm putting out there for other people to see. And it feels good. It truly does feel like I'm kind of opening up my horizons. I'm becoming my own person, and some of that is to thank you guys for. I appreciate the support that I get. I've just had people say the nicest fucking things to me recently, and I didn't have this many resources, this much hope, or this many friends ever. So thank you guys. Anyone who watches this, I know I don't get more than 30 views, but thank you guys. Thank you to any of my friends. So this week was an interesting one. I actually tried to record this 2 or 3 times. I was not feeling it. I was having a terrible fucking day. I think it was yesterday, and sincerely just yesterday or the day before even. And it was just rough. I just could not bring myself to fucking do it. So I just had to get out, go to D&D, and just enjoy my night, alright? A level 8 paladin, in case anyone's wondering, okay? But I got to thinking about a lot of things, and there's been a meme going around, and I heard somebody else say something that kind of imitated it, because that's how a lot of things happen, whether or not people mean to or they know. The memes start to be taken as fact. It's something that happens with people naturally. I think that's why racism is such a stronghold. I think, and I've talked about this before, but I think people have the natural affinity to go to, like, groups that look like them. And then with those same people kind of saying things to you and you thinking it over and over and over, even if you don't think it the first time, eventually you'll see an example of what you believe is that and start to just believe it just a little bit more, and that's the slippery. All of a sudden you're just there, you're fucking there. And so I'm sure I'm actually making a slippery slope argument right now, sincerely, but that's like how it kind of happens, So like you just start thinking of things, you start seeing things over and over. That's what they do with a lot of things. Exposure is what the government will use a lot of times. So like as they're talking about aliens, finding aliens, Space Force things, they're gonna have more movies about aliens beforehand. As they start to do things like experiment with pharmaceuticals and stuff, they're gonna have things before this put out, movies and narratives like this already made. It's just what they do to kind of like help the public stomach it. If anyone's like, what's an alien? Can they kill me? Are they coming to fuck me? If people think aliens are just coming to rape us to death, it's going to get a little out of hand. You show them fucking signs and they're like, we just put water on them, or comes down to it, we can piss on the aliens. Worst case. I appreciated Signs for that. It was one of the earlier movies about what you would do if you were just in a rural farm and aliens attacked. And if you don't have any water, the only solution is to spit and piss on them like some sort of cum pig. You understand? So just make sure that if you do see aliens, you just start humiliate fucking them. Call them dirty little sluts and whores and then piss on them. And that should solve most of it, at least from my understanding of Signs, which is good. There's a few other good alien movies out there. All right, E.T. was another one of those firsts. One of the first movies out there to really think about, what if an alien did come? What if it did entrust one of us? What if it did have a little finger that like glowed in the dark? What if it did? And the answer is that the government would hunt them down for being different and cut them open no matter how many times a child had to cry for it. And sometimes you see at the end, die for it. Now, what did you they're a kid. Okay? They're a kid. They didn't even get through college yet, which they probably won't. It's a kid, alright? This is an alien, They're gonna get right through a kid. A kid is nothing to the government. Trust me, they've gone through plenty of them, okay? So they have a few movies like that, and then boom, all of a sudden aliens happen, and you're thinking about E.T., and you're not thinking about, like, a weird, like, long-fingered alien reaching into your asshole forcibly, Which I think is good. You know, you want to give people some sort of rational thought on things at times. You don't want to influence ideas, but just kind of open people up to things. Now, I don't think the government needs to do this or fund this. I think it can be done by people naturally, and it probably does happen a lot of times where it is just a natural progression of what people see. I was just watching like a Lex Friedman interview, and he was talking to Michio, I think was the guy's name. It's funny because the guy kind of talks like a speaker. He goes, "Now, think of this. Just imagine for a minute, if you will, a world where the Big Bang happens all the time. Now, what would happen in this world?" And then like he talks like that, like a GPS on your fucking phone. But the whole time he's talking about like aliens, and what could be expected, when we can be on Mars and things like that. E.T. Fa-bomb. So he's doing with his finger, like he's fingering your asshole. Anyways, I believe we were talking. What's up, babies? I believe we were talking about the people having things in their realm of consciousness and not realizing that they're slowly giving into it just by it being in the daily. So there's sometimes that like fucking A. I use a highly advanced system to record this called Voice Recorder on Windows 10. It's almost as advanced as my presentation system. Dying on a bunch of different hills is stupid. It also shows the lack of direction that America has, and it also shows how truly hollow any effort to shill is, really, like by the common person, you know? Like somebody gets paid a couple $1,000s or whatever to say some shit on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. It is what it is, you know? But for somebody just in the regular everyday thing to be like, if somebody says something about this, I'm gonna defend them till I die. If you're not part of that group, you're fucking weird for sure, dude. You know? Whatever. And then people will just die on whatever hill they think is worth dying on, or for the people who they don't think can fight for themselves. It's like, whatever. It's a very odd thing to do. It'll be like, this is where I'm going to defend till I die and say people are wrong. Like, you can just also be in a room with people who are wrong. Hey, people can just be wrong. Hey, dummies, huddle up, alright? I'm going to bring you in on a little thing. Let other people be wrong. You will be a lot happier in life. Let everyone fucking be wrong. Okay? As long as you know you're right, oh well. Don't hurt people either. Unless you think you're right about Nazis or gas chambers or some sort of euthanasia. You're probably not. But everything else, like people not believing in you and achieving your dreams, unless once again they deal with, you know, genocides. Also, people, you can't truly care about that many things. You can't just die on a bunch of hills and decide that you care about that many things. It doesn't help anything. No one truly cares about that many things. Like whenever scientists came out, like, or psychologists or whatever, they came out with a thing. They're like, hey, you can only fucking care about so many people. Alright, you can only have so many people in your circle before you stop fucking caring. Before you decide that that person's just an enemy because you've got too many fucking people. You know? It happens a lot. But also, it cheapens every other thing you would die for. It cheapens every other thing you fight for. You very quickly, on the third thing you take a stand for, you become the bitch who just likes to argue. You're just a dumb fucking asshole who's just like trying to defend people that they think is unable to defend themselves or something, yada yada yada. And a lot of people have some sort of valiant stance on this of, well, I was, you know, and like, I get it. I had people fuck with me too, but Jesus Christ, dude, I'm not gonna fucking stand up for everyone. I'll let them stand up for themselves, you know? And if somebody's in a room saying some bullshit, or somebody's being a fucking cock, alright, go about it. But if it's just me and somebody else in a room and you're going to fucking chastise me for just saying something, or even much less sharing an opinion you don't like fucking A, you know? that you're just not fun to be around. No, people don't like people like that. You're not enjoyable. Even the people who you're defending don't like you. Okay? If there is a person that is in a wheelchair and you are just defending them when they could defend themselves, you're just making it seem like you don't think that person in a wheelchair can defend themselves. Do you understand? Do you get that? Also, if you're defending somebody in a wheelchair and they've seen you defend 3 other fucking things that day, they're going to be like, just don't even worry. I broke my legs. I did it on purpose because of people like this. Because of people like this. Just go. Just keep moving on your day. Don't even feel bad. Call me Gimp Legs. Call me Limpy Larry. Okay? Just move on about your day. Calling me Limpy Larry is more endearing and helpful and thoughtful in my day than some fucking asshole trying to fight a battle for you. You know? Here's the other, hey, you want a cheat code, bud? It doesn't matter what a person in a wheelchair is doing. One, they're going to look crazy. But if they, for an instant, look upset, okay? If for one instant a person in a wheelchair looks upset, you're an asshole. You're not. You understand? Okay, you've lost the battle. All of a sudden you come in and you go, like, they don't need you to help them, because as soon as this guy's like, fuck you, Limpy Larry, he's like, they're like, are you fucking making fun of me in the wheelchair? Is that me? You making fun of me with the fucked up legs? Is that what you're doing, huh? The guy with no bottom half of his torso? That's who you're fucking making fun of, bud? You don't win that argument. If there's more than 3 people around, you don't win that argument. Ever. They don't need you for shit, you know? That's with a lot of people. A lot of people who have had people be shitty to them are pretty good at giving it back. Alright? That's why they're fun people. That's why people who are in groups that have a lot of struggles and things are fucking fun people. And that is why you are not. Understand? Not you, but the people who are, whatever, you know, I'm back. The other part of, like, just dying on a hill for no reason, alright? The other part of this, it runs rampant within America. It happens very often to people, at least once in their life, where they're like, I would just die for anything just because I hate my fucking life and I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to fight something, you know? That's how the military works, right? Whenever they're 17 or 18, there's a child in a cafeteria, and they're like, all right, I need to figure out the best way to kill myself. And then all of a sudden, an army recruiter starts telling you that you'll have a fucking life if you come with him. So after about 5 bodies later, if you're lucky, 5 bodies later if you're fucking lucky, you understand? What do? Huh? Now you just got fucking PTSD, they fucking throw you out on your ass, like, yeah, go to the VA, the shitty fucking army. And you're like, oh yeah, I just did this because I didn't care what happened to me. Do you know how many people are like, I'm joining the military and I don't care if I die? The first part of the sentence should never be attached to the second, unless you're joining the Taliban. What are you talking about? Hey, you know who I want defending my country? Someone who cares if they fucking die. Someone who gives a shit if they die. Somebody who has a better life if they live on. Not somebody who goes, it's either this or dying of diabetes outside the VA. You understand? Okay? Fucking A. Whatever. The military is the biggest welfare program in the world. Don't ever join it. It's not great. Alright? It's not good. They will let you die. That is part of the plan. Okay? I was supposed to have a better segue with how this went, and now I'm very just anti-military on accident, which is fine. That is fine. Okay. But when I was younger, I used to think the military was great. I used to think a lot of things were great because I'd get them thrown in my face, and I was just around them all the time, so I'd start to accept them as real ideals. And that was usually a church thing. Church happens a lot of ways to people like that. And sometimes in church, you're just so caught up in these ideals, so caught up in these things, so caught up in spreading Jesus or whatever shitty deity you've decided to worship, because why? You know, if you're worshiping in a group of 60 plus people, it's not that great of a deity. Hey, if you can legally worship the deity, not that great. Jesus is kind of gay. And a literal and metaphorical sense. Okay. And sometimes with these things you get caught up. There's a lot of stuff going on in the zeitgeist. You know? Yeah, I remember I was going to this church. I'd be in the sound room a bunch, trying to learn how to do sound, try to learn how to work Audacity, try to learn how to achieve reaching people further through God with those things. And I was also in the youth group, and I would try to help run the youth group stuff. I'd also help count the money and the donations after church. And you do all these things, and all these are just duties you're doing. So one day, when they come up to you and they go, "Hey, the powerlifting team for Jesus is coming. Can you help set that up?" You go, "Yeah, that sounds wonderful. Of course." Okay? So you go to whatever they're performing in. It's usually some sort of gymnasium or open air market where they're also selling animals they've poached. Usually these people will perform in some sort of dying mall or a building that is literally being destroyed around them. That's why they're there. They're like, "Bring in the power team for a demonstration." And they just walk in. It's an empty fucking building. They're like, "Just break the building with the power of God. Thanks, guys." You know? And they just have to destroy a building. So these guys, they're huge. They're fucking monsters, okay? And their whole thing is, "Jesus does this for me, bro. All this through Jesus. Every day, Jesus. That's all I'm about. Jesus." They're on gear, okay? They're on steroids. You understand? Okay? Their God is testosterone. And you're all bitches and fucking Pharisees. Yes, got that word. And they just don't fucking, they look down upon people for not being as strong as them. Now, also, they're trying to be godly men. So sometimes if you catch them at the right, like, they'll be ripping, like, a phone book in half, and they're like, and they'll just hear them be like, they're naming pussy they're trying not to fuck, you know? Because they have to just, like, stay, like, chaste with God. I think there's some sort of, I think once you join the power team, you're technically some sort of power priest, so you're not allowed to fuck. So what happens is you take testosterone, and you can't masturbate either, because that makes you go blind and your hands fall off. So what do? You bend steel rods over your skull in front of 30 fucking school children and pray to God somehow the urge goes away. Everyone starts clapping. You throw the rod on the ground because you still want to fuck a hole in a brick wall, and those guys probably could. All right? When you see them, you think they could at least finger fuck a hole in a wall, cement wall. Sincerely, they're insane looking. I mean, and one guy even does break cinder blocks with just like one finger even. So there's a lot of confidence he could finger fuck a hole in a wall. It sounds like if anyone, he might just be the guy to do it. I might have to go talk to a few people real quick, you know? That's actually, write that down. Somebody write that down, okay? just people that are they're just like sitting there staring at a line of cocaine, and they're just breaking shit repeatedly to attempt to not do cocaine. They just get a trailer and they fucking stomp on it until they can tear it and fold it in half. They're just trapping themselves in cages with naked hookers outside of it that they can't touch. You know? It's all just a real test. The power team, they're a real thing. Google them if you want. I saw them 2 or 3 times. They're not bad people. They're nice guys, but there's no way they're not A, on steroids, and B, not super pissed, or like they had to go to bars directly after that and be like, "What's up, bitch?" You know? Like, they're just trying to slap ass after that, right? Like, no man gets buff not to try to fuck more. Okay? Like, sure, men will be like, "It's for my health. I just kind of wanted to look at myself and feel better about who I was. They're also like, I wanted people to love me more. It's true. It's sincere. That's what they want. Why not? You know? Love them more. Because they are buff. There is a certain type of privilege. I wouldn't say it's a buff privilege. A lot of people do like people that are buffer, but it doesn't necessarily get you a lot of places. Sometimes people see a buff guy, all of a sudden they're following you throughout a market. People see a buff guy, all of a sudden they're like, let me feel on you, and you don't really get to even like talk about it much, you know? But pretty is truly a privilege. Almost an issue. Almost an issue. Almost an issue. Pretty privilege is unmatched. Unmatched. I think I've talked about it before, so I'll continue on. But besides, along the idea of the power team, just the idea of them being this paradox of masculinity and manliness, but also Jesus Christiness. It's just like a monk that's overcompensating. How can you believe him? You know? How can you believe him? And it's almost as funny as like the guy who blacks out. You know, he's just getting fucked up, and he's like, "Oh, dude, I've been fucking drinking every day for 2 months. I've had some weird side effects, dude." I'm like, "Oh yeah, what's the matter?" He's like, well, you know, I was saving up for that ounce of blow. I stopped doing blow for 2 weeks so I could save up for the ounce of blow. Well, I fucking woke up this morning, dude. And you remember the 3 years of, like, the 3 years of child support I owed on little Emily? And, like, I get, yeah, you're a piece of shit, dude, but yeah. He's like, yeah, I know. That's what I'm getting to. I woke up this morning, all paid off. I paid off my fucking child support, dude. You know, it's just a guy who's like, he's like blacking out and just like fixing his life. He's like, fuck, dude, I woke up. Who cleaned my fucking kitchen, dude? I don't know where any of this shit's at, dude. All the fucking dishes are done and I can't fucking find anything. You know, it's like, fuck, I gotta stop drinking, man. You know, he's just like, he's like, oh, fucking A, dude. I fucking did some rails last night, got so drunk, I enrolled for my GED again, dude. God damn it. I blacked out and wrote my grandma a birthday card. Fuck! You know? That's what we need. That would be nice. If there's a guy who just can't, he's like, I stole a fucking car the other day, I blacked out and it was back in the parking spot I took it from, you know? And if you made it this far, congratulations, dummy. You're a hardcore dummy. You're an official dummy. You know, you're a damn dummy. You know, and I think that there will come a day for us. You know, you are as much me as I am me. You know, we're all just dummies. That's part of it. That's part of the mask. You know, we're all just a bunch of dummies. There's nothing that makes anyone better than any other dummy. Truly. And I think there comes a day for all of us to enjoy. We call it Dummy Day. You understand? There's a few things that happen on Dummy Day. One, we all hang out, which is really cool. Next, you transfer all of your crypto to my wallet. You understand? All of it. Because now, follow me here. In probably like 10, 20 years, we're going to start getting AI. They're going to start getting smart, and they're going to start getting smarter and smarter and smarter, right? All right. We have a lot of coins in the crypto market today, all right? And they're all building up, giving different values and things. Eventually, one day, they're just going to hook an AI up to one of those, and they're going to become gods. So, in order to prevent this, I'm just taking all of the cryptocurrency, and I will be your god. Now, The cryptocurrency will be used for fun activities. We will have a blob in some sort of water. We'll have some sort of lake. It may not be a year-round thing, but I imagine it'll be a thing where like the falls are a little bit warm and there's actually a long summer. That way the blob can be used for the longest amount of time. Along with those things, we'll also be buying just fun things for the compound. Digging underground tunnels that span, hopefully, states. And we can get a gator and we can like ride around on the property and like shoot stuff out of it. Yeah. And so on Dummy Day, yeah, we can just have a lot of fun. You can pledge your allegiance to me. I can take all your crypto. We can ride around on the gator. Everyone gets a mask. All right, just so we're all clear. I know the crypto's a cost, but everyone gets a mask. All right. I really would like to get somebody to customize a mask. You know, if I could even throw them like $30 just to customize a mask real quick. Or maybe I should get into it. Maybe I should make some cool masks. That might be cool. Just talking to masks and then sell them afterwards so people can be like, I'm talking through his same mouth hole. It tastes like him, you know? Watch as I drink my own water through this. Drink water filtered through my mask. This is this next one's a tough subject. Maybe I'll regret this in years to come, as there are some people already regretting decisions less than 10 years old. Less than the age of a consenting adult. Their decisions are coming back to haunt them. Joe Rogan being one of them. Saying the N-word on his show. Saying some racist jokes, albeit in humor, but some racist jokes all the same. And you just hope nobody ever comes for you like that. You hope that if you build a thing that you love, you hope that if you put things into it, do you have a good time? It doesn't really seem like anyone's holding him accountable personally, which seems good because he shouldn't be. And I mean, like, sure, he should learn a lesson. He should understand what's going on. He's even come out and said what he learned. So I don't know what more we can get out of this. But if you want blood, just say that, you know? But it's made me come to a conclusion that I'm honest to God, I just think it's correct. I think it's correct. The N-word is too cool to have around white people. Alright? It's too cool. You hear it in a song after a while. A lot of white people will be like, no, I just say it in a song, dude. I only say it in the songs, my man. I only say it in the songs. I'll never say it to a person. I just say it in the songs. It's so cool that even when just held in front of white people's glimmering little eyes, I can't help but just try to touch it. Just feel the face of God, you know? I have a place where we listen to a lot of our music. A lot of different things that we do, a lot of fun, sincerely, in my opinion. I really enjoy the places that I enjoy this place a lot. And we play our own music, we all talk. There's a lot of different people there. Vastly different people. And one man who's a little bit older, let's say, probably a little over 50. Probably 45, 50. Early 50s if 50. He'll come up to me sometimes. And you know what he says? White man, he says, I hate the N-word. We listen to some music. Listen to some fucking Young Pappy Homicide, you know what I'm saying? Some the Finetto freestyle. Maybe he says some shit in there, you know? Maybe some things get triggered when you start listening to YG. He comes up to me, he says, I hate the N-word. And I'm like, who? Who's the N-word? You know? He meant in the song. But he hates it. And I just said, I just honest with him because I truly wonder. I hear these things and I'm like, interesting point of view. I don't spend any time truly, if it's happening in a song, it's happening. But I don't spend much time on the philosophical nature of the N-word. I mean, we're here now, but come on. Not like every day I think about this. This has just come up from this. And so he says, I've spent my whole life trying to stop white people from saying the N-word. And now you look around and everyone is saying the N-word. What's up with that? Those are the words, verbatim. Verbatim. What is up with that? You know what I'm not gonna do? Ask anyone. Because I'll just let it be there, I think it's the issue that we have where we don't tell people, like, they're like, don't say that. It's rude. It's bad. It's all these things. I get it. But also explain to people that it's cool as fuck. Hey, a guy over there is going to look at you, and if he calls you the N-word, it's going to feel really cool. But you can't do that. Okay? It's how we should do a lot of things. Okay? For example, I walk outside one day and I see my homie blowing down a square, smoking a Nick stick. You understand? Just having a good time. A good old cigarette. And I look at him and I say, don't let anyone ever tell you that smoking isn't cool. Because that's the lie. They tell you smoking's bad. They tell you smoking's unhealthy. They say smoking's going to kill you. Sure, maybe you're right. But you say smoking isn't cool as hell? Get out of here. Get out of here. You need to tell kids, hey, smoking's cool as fuck and very bad for you. So don't do it often. Probably ever, but definitely don't do it often. I think we're doing better there. That's the problem with a lot of things. We talked about this before, Dummies, but where like your parents are like, hey, marijuana's like cocaine. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to try marijuana because a lot of people are saying it's not that bad. Boom. Now you're like, well, if marijuana's like cocaine, bring out the cocaine. Now you're an addict. Now you're in rehab. And now you're in court-ordered, what they call it, relapse prevention. It is just too cool. It's too cool to have around white people without them saying it. At least the bell curve of it. 10% of them. Obviously, some of them are going to get pissy. Some of them are going to get mad that it's going around. Because there's something cool going on that they don't get to be a part of. And I do believe that sincerely in my heart. But there's also even more of them that are going to fucking say it. And that's just a little... that's not really my fault, I guess. But goddamn, I also see where that pisses off the people who are like, hey, we haven't said this for 40 years. They've never unlocked the power, They've never once grabbed the tree, They never once did it. The other fun thing, Kanye and Kim are warring, going back and forth, and Kanye's like talking about the plight of a black man, and the choice of slavery, and then Kim's like, yeah, it's not that bad. Kim's like, I didn't do nothing, but he's a crazy man. He tried to, what'd you say? He put a hit out on me, it is hilarious. Like, could you imagine just like a man just like sitting there on a park bench, just like leaned back. He's got a complete facial covering on his face. And then you just like walk up and a guy sits down next to him. He's like, you got stuff. The guy with the complete mask over his face pushes this guy an envelope. The guy looks around, opens up the envelope. Inside, $50,000 cash. His own faceless mask. And a picture of Kim Kardashian. The guy puts it back in the envelope. He looks over and he goes, God damn it, Kanye. What the fuck are you? You're Kanye, right? You're with the whole faceless mask thing? That's the only person. You want me to kill that bitch? That's why you're doing the whole faceless mask thing? doing all this shit. You're going to churches and shit, and now you're putting out a hit on this bitch. He's like, yeah, but she got fake titties, man. This bitch keep me from my kids. You know? I can't do a Kanye. I can't do a Kanye impression. But Kanye then being like, she's the devil. You know? Putting a fucking hit out on Kim Kardashian. Try finding a man who's gonna be like, hey, I got it. I'll kill Kim Kardashian. Like, what the fuck? Hell no. Her dad was one of the most renowned lawyers in the whole fucking country. They're gonna no, you're going to jail. They'll fucking Saddam Hussein your ass. They'll be like hanging allowed again, you know? It is funny though, one of the main issues was their daughter North. Oh tits, I have a fucking hair in here. Sorry. Was their daughter North being on TikTok. And he's like, she's gonna be allowed on there. People are saying crazy shit, all this stuff. And so a lot of times it seems like in the TikTok that Kim is giving her phone to North and they're like doing videos together and stuff. And some of the comments are really great. Some of the comments were like, Northy, what's mommy's credit card number? It's always like it's like, North, have you ever played Cash App? You know? Which I thought was a pretty good one. There was another really funny one. It was like, hey North, have you ever heard about the principles of Karl Marx communism? You know, just fun things like that. Some people explaining to her what races are in what rank. No, I'm just kidding. But that's what's gonna happen. From what I understand about TikTok, she will end up a pedophile or a white supremacist. I'm 99% sure on that. At least from what I understand of TikTok, that seems accurate. Kids cannot do well on that shit. Kids have become addicted to stuff way too early. I remember back in the day when I was young, parents didn't want you to be on Facebook till you were 13. Of course, they kind of still don't, but like now it's like acceptable for kids that are 7 to have cell phones. They're not getting on fucking TikTok. You know, they're gonna lie. It's one of those things that, not just with that though, but like phones and dopamine and all this stuff, kids are getting addicted at a young age. I've seen kids scream like they were hungry and starving for food, scream like they were terrified because they couldn't hold on to a phone. You know, kids do not have the emotional capacity to deal with that or understand what's happening to them. It's not good for them to have, and it's fucked up. I knew a lot of kids that were addicts of video games, like cell phones. Xanax was a big one going around, painkillers. And I know those are all different, but it is funny how these people basically just ruin their lives with whatever bullshit. Food is another big example for teenagers. I know people that would spend hundreds of dollars a month on food, just gain hundreds of pounds for no fucking reason. And so now, by the time people turn 17, they've already had one fucking addiction. They're already reformed lifeless addicts that can't go to parties because if there's cocaine, they'll lose what little they've worked for. All right? and so Christ, where was I at? Oh yeah. But people are just so easily addicted now, so easily sold bullshit, so easily led on to believe those things. And it's because it's from a young age. That's why people are the way they are now. That's why the younger generation now is a different breed, talking about hustling and all this shit, because the ones that don't get addicted to fucking Xans when they're 13 have such a fucking boost on the people who just dropped out of fucking school when they were fucking 12 to be Twitch streamers or some fucking shit and then got addicted to Adderall, you know? And that is, Lord, if Lord forbid, they don't just immediately move on to gambling or some other shitty addiction. Cigarettes, fucking nicotine, things like that. It happens a lot. Yeah. You know? Like, we're just raising little junkies. We're just little technological junkies. Just put the cell phone in their fucking brains already. Make them shut up. They're crying for no reason. Oh, shit. I think we've covered just about everything. I don't know if I had much else, dummies. I appreciate you being here. Welcome to Young and Dumb 20. Welcome. Yeah, we did a lot. I appreciate you guys being here. I hope you guys enjoy these things. I really have had a lot of fun doing the Young and Dumb. I hope to bring more here. I've thought about having a cannabis channel, some kind of thing like that, but I'm not sure 100% what I'm going to do with that, but I've thought about it. So you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for being here, dummies. Love you.